हमारे पास अल्बा पार्टी के लीडर एलेक्स सालम मौजूद है, इनसे हम कुछ सवाल पूछे हैं। सो एलेक्स सालम, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक यू वेरी मच टू गिव अस टाइम। सो आर यू हैप्पी विद योर रिजल्ट लास्ट इलेक्शन?
No, I mean it was an improvement, and in some wards here in Glasgow, for example, our vote was enough. If it had been a Scottish election, then we'd have had seats. So that's we have to register the improvement, but we want more, and we'll just keep going until we get it. And one of our key weapons now we're able to have public meetings is the public meeting that you've seen in Pollock Shaw's today. We'll be having the Length and Bread for Scotland as we mobilise people and get the name of ALBA known.
So this is your second election, and people were expecting that you will win some seat, but still, don't you think the result is very disappointed?
Well, you have to understand something about electoral systems. If this had been held under the Scottish electoral system with the two votes, we probably would have won seats. We know that from the preference voting. But of course, an SDV election means that you have to have a very high first preference in order to win seats. But we had some very good performances across Scotland, and we'll build on these areas. I know I've probably forgotten more about the history of the SNP than most people in the SNP have ever learned. It took the SNP 11 years to win their first seat. I suspect ALBA will do it much quicker than that as political pace in Scotland heats up. And the more we heat up the political pace, the better ALBA will do.
And what do you think about the future of ALBA party? You think coming elections, ALBA will win some seats? Do you think so?
I do, and of course a lot will depend on the circumstances. Look, if the referendum or vote in independence is delivered next year as promised, no ifs, no buts, we're told by the SNP and the Greens, then everybody will unite behind that vote. We have to, because that's our aim and objective. But if it isn't, if it doesn't happen, if people are let down again, then there'll be huge political changes in Scotland, and ALBA will be here and waiting to take the cause of independence forward. People in leadership positions are not there by entitlement, they're there to deliver. And if they don't deliver, people will look for a different party and a different perspective. Now, I know most politics in Scotland. Believe me, most political parties held a meeting in Pollock Shaw's on a Sunday afternoon. They'd be lucky to fill a phone box if any phone boxes are left. The fact that ALBA can do that indicates strength on the ground. And as the general public become aware of our campaign, then you'll see our vote rising. And as you see the ALBA vote rising, you'll see the cause of independence rising.
Yeah, the thing is, people, the common citizen of Scotland, they think that already SNP they are fighting for election. Why do you think ALBA was imported, or why people vote for ALBA?
Well, we know that 85% of people in Scotland now vote in the independence question. So in an election, because you're trying to establish a new party, they'll vote for the established independence party, either the SNP or a few will vote for the Greens as well. But if the independence question is not delivered as promised, then people have a different perspective. And they'll have either the alternative to give up on independence, which I don't think people will do, or to find a new instrument to take forward the case. And that's why ALBA exists, that's why ALBA will go forward. ALBA is necessary to the cause of independence just now, because nobody else is doing what we're doing. Nobody else is producing the wee ALBA book in order to enunciate and make clear the case for independence in the modern age.
And last question is, how do you think the response from the overseas Pakistani, especially Asian community, I will talk about the Pakistani, what do you think about the response from them, the vote-wise,
Well, I tell you what, if elections in Scotland were only held among the Asian community in Scotland, then ALBA would be winning already. So we've just got to persuade the other communities in Scotland to be as far-seeing as the Asian and African communities and see the potential that ALBA has. That's one of our tasks. But, we're going to have a good summer of campaigning, and we're readying ourselves from the promised referendum next year. If that doesn't happen, then the next election in Scotland will have entirely different results from the last election in Scotland, and you'll be seeing ALBA rising.
थैंक यू वेरी मच। थैंक यू। तो अल्बा पार्टी के जो लीडर थे एलेक्स सालम, उनका कहना यही था कि फ्यूचर जो है अल्बा पार्टी का रोशन है, और आइंदा इलेक्शन में इंशाल्लाह अल्बा पार्टी जो है वो कामयाबी हासिल करेगी बेहतर सीटों के साथ। जी।